Yeah.
Let me know when we are ready.
We can start, ma'am.
Yeah. We'll start. Okay, good evening, one and all present in this webinar. Myself, Rajesh TS, faculty member, Department of Business Analytics, B School, Bengaluru, and the moderator for this webinar. Before we start, for the information of all the panelists, the speaker session is for 30 to 45 minutes, and post that you will have a Q&A for 50 to 20 minutes. All the participants can type your questions in the chat box, which would be taken or addressed during the Q&A. So with that, we shall start. I once again welcome you all for this webinar session by B School Bangalore on the demand for business analytics as a lucrative career and industry perspective. First of all, it's my duty to welcome you all for this wonderful webinar. And we have amongst us one of the eminent personalities in the analytics field. I wholeheartedly welcome our guest and speaker of the day, Ms. Savantika Chauhan, Associate Director, Publicis Media, India. I welcome you. I also welcome.
Thank you.
I would like to extend a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Anil Rao Paila, Senior Dean Director, V-School Bengaluru Campus. And my sincere and most warm welcome to all my V-School family, MDC team, the entire MDC team, headed by Mr. Vikram, and the entire team who is arranging and organizing this particular event. And last but not the least, all my participants. A great welcome, a warm welcome to all the participants who are present in this webinar. The foundation of any successful company, from startups to established big players, is being able to give customers what they want. And guesswork just isn't enough to figure out what that is. And that is why business analytics is such a crucial field, such a critical field in this scenario. It enables companies to know their users' wants and needs. To know more about this from industry perspective and to throw more light on this, we have with us today one of the eminent analytics professionals, our own alumna, Ms. Savantika Chauhan. Ms. Savantika is currently the Associate Director from the Publicis Media India Data Science team. She started her analytics journey with ICICI Bank after getting placed from Willinkar Institute. Before joining Publicis, she had been associated with BCG, Fractal Analytics, TCS, and ICICI Bank. Ms. Savantika has overall 15 years of experience with 12 plus years of experience in data analytics, providing strategic solutions in media, banking, credit cards, telecommunications, energy space with exposure in data modeling, visualization tools like SAS, R, Alteryx, and Tableau, etc. I once again welcome Ms. Savantika, and I now request Ms. Savantika to take over the session.
Hi, first of all, I would like to thank everyone that I have been given this opportunity to connect with my school again, and after such a long time. And it's a pleasure speaking to you after such long time. And thanks, Dr. Anil sir, for providing me this opportunity. Definitely, yes, there is a lot going on in data analytics. And this is the field which is considered right now as the sunrise industry, not in India, across everywhere. And there is a dearth for professionals because this is the industry where like a lot of information is floating around, but nobody is there to drive insights out of it. So a lot goes in terms of like how you upskill yourself, because some people are in the mid of their careers, some are just starting as you guys are, and there are some who just want to upskill so that whatever data is available to them, they can make use of it and get something out of it which was not present earlier. Initially, business was done on the basis of some rules and the hunch and the gut feeling. But later on, when companies started realizing that data is something which can help them in framing their strategies, and especially right now in COVID situation, where a lot more companies are coming up with their innovations and the solutions backed with data and analytics. So it becomes very pertinent for everyone to at least get abreast with whatever is happening around us, and then how we can tackle those. Definitely we can make some assumptions, but if we are using data to arrive at those solutions, definitely it helps us. And some of the questions which comes to mind of people, I can hear background noise from somebody's. So whenever you are like looking forward for a data science career or for business analytics, so every time you have
कॉफी मारूंगा नहीं उधर जाके.
So every time you are faced with the questions related, I guess there's somebody is unmuted. Yeah. So every time you are trying to see what can be the solutions, how should I enter into this field? Because initially it was perceived that this is a field where you have to be very focused, especially from economics point of view or statistics driven. But with the latest softwares available, and there are like a lot of research already available, so that dependency has gone a little bit down. So we cannot say that there is no entry barrier as such. Yes, there is, it is. But if you are good with numbers, and if you know how to crunch the numbers and how you derive some insights out of it, you're good to go. Then there are softwares who can help you, but you cannot totally depend on software to give you to drive your analytics. Mr. Ragesh, you wanted to say something?
No, ma'am. So, we will actually go ahead. We'll continue,
Okay.
and we can take any Q&A at the end.
Sure.
The last 15
So,
minutes.
throughout my journey, when I started from Wellinger, I studied my course in business administration. And when I got placed in BIU, I was totally clueless. I didn't know what it was all about and where I was stepping into. So when Mr. Jayaraman, who took our induction, he told us that there is a lot more coming to us. Then I realized that what it was about to be, because there were sleepless nights and I didn't have any clue how to handle this huge amount of data with SAS, because there were people coming from Delhi School of Economics and IGDR and ISI Kolkata. They were hands-on, and I was like totally clueless, like what should I do? And then there were no such courses available at that point of time, apart from these economics courses that people can upskill themselves. Or I totally depended on YouTube and other channels to look for what kind of information I can get. But right now I'm seeing a sea change in like last 2-3 years. There is a, like, you can say, a lot of information available and a lot of courses are there, but people are clueless which ones to go for, because every course talks about that yes, we can give you 100% placement and you can go about it without a qualms. But that actually doesn't help. It helps only when you are 100% dedicated to that, because data science field is something, it requires a lot of dedication from your side as well. It is not that only course will help. Course will directly help you in terms of like how you can get the insights, how can you apply the analytics techniques. But beyond that, you will have to keep reading, you will have to keep nurturing yourself every day. Every single day you have to keep abreast what is happening within your parallels and out of your whole ecosystem. And then you have to relate it. It's not that you are only master of your field. You have to keep a tab on economy, what is happening at macroeconomic level, how politics is shaping up, how the geographical things are helping shaping the whole economy polity. So that ways you can bring the story out of the data. Data will speak a lot of it, but you should have a sense how to apply that. Only then you can excel as an analyst. So there is always this thing goes in community, and at least in analytics community, that people have a knack for numbers. They do derive insights out of it, but sometimes they are not married with what business is thinking and how the business is showing up. So there comes this thing that how you tie the knots with the business analysis understanding. So there comes the tools, techniques, how you use it, which one to use it. So there can be question like generally whenever you go for credit card swipe, you always swipe it and there is always either a decline, reject or accept. So that kind of a thing happens through analytics. So analytics is everywhere and it is getting deployed by every company who wants to prevail in their field, and those who want to continue and grow. So it is not only the companies which initially it was the US and other foreign companies which had loads of data and they were doing data collection since long. But in India also companies have started, but they don't know what to do about it, because most of the time they cannot go and hire from abroad. So they have to nurture the talent within the company itself, or like they have to go to B schools, or they have to go to economics schools. But B schools also have this thing that though they prepare it, but it's only your insight in terms of like how you derive it that makes an analyst an analyst. You can write insights, but they should be talking about what the actual scenario is and how relevant it is for the end user. If you cannot communicate in the way a user understands, your analysis will not be taken. And after a point of time, you will not be even asked to give opinions. So that way, this is very lucrative. And though entry barrier is there, but I would not discourage people to upskill in this field because this is the future right now. Any questions? Anybody who have like, I can see one. So yes, I see that one fellow has asked that how can I start my career after completing my engineering as a fresher? What should I start learning for business analytics? Very good question, because I have also been part of recruitment teams in TCS, in VCG, and in my current organization. And seen there is a shift, or you can say a tilt towards engineers, because they have at least exposure to one programming language that helps them in giving a edge with respect to others. Because when you want to delve with big data and the codes which you have to write, if you are bespoke is like you can write from scratch. There are two ways, like you can search from Google and write the code with some modifications. But if you want to amend major changes like softwares like R or Python, they have like this facility where you can write your own code, write your own programs, and you can be the owner of that code. So then definitely it helps. And coding skills always go a long way if you are having one. And having said that, how can you start? Definitely, you can start with, first of all, brushing up your fundamentals on statistics, because this is the must. And you should be able to question or cross question what is being told to you. And that will come only when you have enough grasp on statistics. So any person who has studied till 10th or 12th mathematics or statistics will be good to go. But there are other options available for people who are still not very savvy, but you should have a knack for numbers. If you don't have a knack for numbers, you will not be able to survive for long. So that is one thing. You should not be bored with numbers, because after a point of time, you numbers and numbers, and then you get fatigued and you don't know what to do about this data. So that is the first thing. You should first analyze yourself, that whether I am good for it. And then to start with, you can have some courses which are available. And if you are really interested to go forward, because I don't want to waste time here talking about those courses, you can approach me. I can guide you in terms of like what all courses one should go for to start their initial journey, because there are some very good sites available, right? Recently they have started telling the tutorials also, which are free right now. And so you can start upskilling in terms of like how the statistics is, and especially how to implement it in a business situation. Because you might be good with facts, and you might be good with the theory part of the statistics, but application comes only when you think from the perspective of the business, how they are dealing with it and what problem they are trying to solve. If you can articulate that problem in a statistical framework and derive the logics, and then derive the solutions, then you are fit for that role. Any other questions?
So, yeah, we have one more question. Archita is saying she has done graduation in fashion designing, and I was looking forward to do masters in business analytics. Would my background be a restriction?
I don't think so. Background would be a restriction here. If you go for a course, because right now what I'm seeing that industry is also recognizing these courses as a stepping stone for people, and people from all walks of life are getting into these data modeling and data analytics field, because this is something which is required everywhere. It's not that it's a very specialized field where like if you want to go for a risk or something, then definitely you will have to do for different courses. But for a general business analytics and data analytics career, definitely you can go for it. You just have to prove your metal. There are and now there are hackathons which are happening. So all across India, companies are doing hackathons, and especially for ladies also, they are doing hackathons, in which if you keep on participating, then you can build your knowledge, and you can show on your CV that despite of you being from a fashion designer background, you can still rule the numbers and you can derive insights. So this definitely helps. And there are some there are some hackathons which happen on Analytics Vidya, some are on Tech Gig, and there are Kaggle. Kaggle is like the Bible for analytics, because their companies post their recent challenges which they have faced, and they do get solved there, and there are hefty prizes for that. And sometimes candidates do get picked up from these hackathons. So I would say, rather, like, if you really want to succeed in this, try starting hackathon as like as your knowledge builder, because there you will get multiple opportunities to work with projects, and there are global communities where you can share and see where you stand as a person in terms of your skills and how you can better yourself. Because at the end of the hackathon, there are solutions which get published of the top 3 or 4 people, and how they approached it, and what like brought them apart from other people who were also in there. So my only suggestion is that read and keep abreast with all what is happening in the latest scenario across your around the economy, around the situations. You should be able to analyze it. You should be able to bring the perspective which is different.
Okay, so there is one question in the chat box
Yeah.
from Sunny. I have 7 years of experience in the field of sales and marketing. I love doing simple analysis in Excel and explaining my findings to my team. I want to take it further. What should be my learning path?
Okay. Can you repeat the question? There was some lag.
Yeah, I love doing simple analysis in Excel and explaining my findings to my team.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take it further. What should be my glide learning path?
Okay. So Excel is something which is still considered as God in terms of doing analysis, because if your data set is small, Excel can do wonders. And if you are good with the VBA, like I have seen in BCG, people doing real magic out of those Excel sheets. And I think the learning path should be that if you like, I don't know in which field you are in, because I have seen various optimizers getting built on Excel, and all the projects getting delivered on Excel as like as a platform, and as a you can say various techniques get built on. If you are good in numbers plus coding, so definitely you can bring your own algos and give it all together a different meaning. So learning path can be, you should be very good with stats. If you are good with the stats, then how you can bring that into your solutions, that is something very critical. And second thing is that business should need it. If business is not needing it, then irrespective of whatever you do, it will go in vain, because they will not consume it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. One more question few participants are asking, what are the typical job role in analytics? That is one. In continuation of that is one more question. Can non-engineers take up analytics as a career?
I am myself as a non-engineering background. Yes, I have seen in recent years that there is a shift happening towards that. People are going more for engineers, but I would not say that that is completely for engineer. No, it all depends like how you fare in that entrance test which these companies conduct. And for your like if you want to go for your career upskills, like if you want to start off, then definitely you should focus on what exactly you should be working on. And Ragesh, I forgot your first question.
What are the typical the job roles in analytics?
Yeah, so there are multiple roles which happen. So when you go as an entry level data analyst, so the first thing you will see is that how the data is getting captured and how to clean the data, and what all insights can be derived out of it. So there are 4 or 5 types of stages in analytics cycle which happens. So sometimes you will be doing MIS, which is like monthly information reports which happen. So you will be stating the numbers as it is by doing data crunching, which generally happens in Excel or SAS. If the data is huge, has Excel cannot handle, then you go for SAS and other softwares like Alteryx. And so this is something which you are reporting as business as usual, that like how your business or your portfolio looks like. Then second step is like you want to visualize, you want to derive insights of those. So then you start creating dashboards. Then there are visualization stories. You want to tell your story from the data. So then you have visualization experts who are really good in like how to picture, how to present it to audience, so that the audience get the feeling that exactly how the thing is going on. So Tableau is one software which has really come out well. There were other ClickView, and there are like so many softwares, but Tableau has really done a good job, and they are ahead of the curve in terms of like when I was in BCG, they were doing the beta testing, that how they can bring in the other analytics concepts into visualization. So with visualization, you can also see regression or clustering. These are the techniques which are used and in analytics a lot, so that they can give you a complete package, and you can talk about how the whole group is behaving. So that all kind of insights come out from your dashboard really well. Then you have your prescriptive or predictive analytics, where the roles involved like forecasting, and talking about that how the business should be, and what all you can do. So in this you can look for roles in banks, where you have risk specialists who especially look for that how what is the probability of default for a particular person, and whether the loan will be defaulted or not. So these are the specialized fields where some other trainings are also required to go in. And then you have the optimization piece, where you are optimizing about like you have a transport system, say across India, and then how to optimize the routes, so that your minimum amount of fuel is consumed, minimum time is consumed, and the deliveries are faster. So right now, this has been very rightly picked up by ITC. So they have like partnered with the ISROs to map the locations, and then they are trying to bring, because initially there was lockdown and there was like no transport was happening. So they wanted to reach the customer as soon as possible with the last mile connectivity. They tied up with Swiggy and Zomato also to, so this has all happened because of the application of analytics. So the roles can be varied, and it depends on which department you land in and how that department, because in India it's still in nascency stage. Banks were the early adopters, so they started analytics like 10 to 15 years back. But I can say 25 years back, ICICI, HDFC were the ones who pioneered analytics in India. As SBI is still outsourcing some part of it, and they are keeping some in-house. So that ways, banks were the early adopters, and then there are companies like ISRO and all, where optimization plays a great role. Because when I was in Boston, like for a data summit, so I met with one person. He was associated with NASA. So he told me that they simulated every move of that rover on Mars, and then they sent it. So for every simulation, it took them around 1.5 minute to see how they are doing it. And then, so the time lag was such that they couldn't take the liberty of going beyond 1.5 minute. So that exactly like tells that which all fields you really want to go. So, and when you will be in media companies, say like I am right now, so here we measure different metrics which are involved in the effectiveness and measuring the effectiveness of ROIs and which media is working or not. So it depends totally on in which department you are in, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in BFSI, whether it's in like airport, or where a lot of scheduling happens for flights, etc. So that's totally department-based activity.
Yeah, for the all the freshers out there, one question, and if we can clarify this, is experience in a particular industry is required to start analytics career?
I would say, as a fresher, if you go, so nobody will ask for your experience. But if you are like, say, 4 or 5 years in the industry, then you can look within your own office or organization that whether you can move into that data side vertical. Because I get questioned on this a lot. Even in my organization, there are certain people who really want to move into analytics, and they come to me and tell me like, can you teach me so that we can move ahead in this. But I would say that that totally depends on the companies how they want to go about it, because generally people do want experience if you are in your mid-level or senior level. But yes, for freshers, definitely people are ready to try, and there are programs which happen in at least most of the organizations I know, where they groom people for like at least 10 to 15 days to have a situational based analysis, or like to understand and how to consult even, and how to like convert a business problem into an analytics problem, and then again converting the solution to a business solution. Because it is sometimes the users are not that statistical in approach, and if you say them the p value is like 0.5 0.05, they wouldn't understand. So you have to tell them whether the approach which we are going through is significant enough or not. So you have to articulate in a way that they understand. So that should be the thing you should be knowing, and it would not come in a day or two. So you have to keep practicing. So you have to keep yourself active on various blogs which are currently running, various sites which are giving inputs in terms of like how to interpret the results and how to articulate it to audience. So that ways you have to keep abreast with these, and you have to keep updating. This is one field where you cannot say that like I have completed my course and then I will go and kill every bird. No, it is not, because you will have to keep yourself engaged and keep yourself abreast with all the things which are latest in happening, and you have to keep nurturing yourself. And you have and it serves really well if you are part of a community, because then you know if you have a problem, then whom you go to are addressed. Because there are a lot of communities which help in terms of like if you are stuck with a problem, they pose the questions and they post the answers as well. So that way you get a lot of help. But the knack for it, it should be inside you.
Okay. Ma'am, according to you, what is the future of career in analytics? Because most of the participants would love to hear from you, especially during this or post-pandemic. What would be the future of career in
I
analytics?
think now every company is realizing the importance of data, and they do want to derive insights out of it. Because initially what happened, a lot of things happened on gut feeling with established principles. Now the whole scenario has changed, and you need to speculate exactly how the industry is moving and how the situations will be. So you will need people who can read the insights for you from the data. And there is a demand supply gap. So I have read various reports, but I would not comment the number here because there are multiple numbers and with multiple reports. So which one to go for? So I don't have that visibility right now. But there is like a huge demand going to be into 2021-22 because a lot of thing is happening in terms of like optimization. So if you want to optimize the floor space and there is a restriction that only 30 to 40% of your workforce will be functional, then you would have to check that which all 30% or 40% would be there. So you will have to build a tool or like a scenario planner where you will see that okay, these are the constraints, these are the boundaries. Constraints, I will say, like a person who is working, who is having a temperature, whether that he or she should be allowed. How many people are there who are running with temperature? How many are there who are not able to attend or something of that sort? So that kind of tools are really getting built up, and then there are various decisions. Say for example, initially, like measurement wise, like lot was not happening on media, but digital was not present at that point of time. Not a lot of digital transformation is also happening across the industries. So those who want to keep abreast, like for example, I will give you industry wise, like two-wheeler segment. Initially, people had this thing that they wanted to feel the bike, they wanted to ride the bike, only then purchase. But now people, the companies have started giving them the virtual feel by um, devising the you can say solutions in which you can feel the bike on digital platforms. You can read the reviews. They are doing the reputation management online. There's so much happening. So for that, analytics happen, like social media listening. So like whatever social mentions happen for a brand, how my brand is getting perceived. If I want to pinpoint that from where the negativity is coming for the brand, where is the positivity is coming for the brand, and what is the murmur talking about, whether it's a positive murmur or a negative murmur. So that kind of a pinpoint geography location wise can happen, and it can happen through analytics. So through text analytics. So that ways companies are trying to leverage every possible angle and corner from which they can derive insights and drive customer experience. Because right now market share is not something companies are looking at. It's from when you know your customer, and knowing the customer is not the only thing. You know, you personalize the offer according to the customer. So this all happens that first you try to zero in who all are the target audience, and then you see which audience are similar in nature or different, and how should I target them. So this all comes through analytics. And uh, going by the nature of businesses who are transforming, so I see that there is a lot of scope for analytics in coming years.
And now comes to the golden question. Is coding mandatory to learn analytics?
I would say yes, it's mandatory, because if you know coding, definitely it helps. Otherwise, you will be depending on other people, and that is always considered as like a support. So if you can write your codes, you are like at par. Because current initially, when in earlier days, companies do realize that there were not enough courses and people were coming, like I was from a non-coding background. So when I entered into analytics, so I was not a very good coder. So there were people who used to help. There were especially people in ICICI Bank who did the, we used to make the stream and they optimized our codes. But now the companies are not expecting that kind of a thing happening. So they want you to be hands-on on coding part also. So it always helps if you are good in some coding skill. Definitely it goes a long way, because then it gives you a knack. And then because every software like R, Python, or for that matter, any open software. So, sorry. I have a bad throat. So what happens that any of the these open softwares, if you want to write, because most of the times it happens that due to the cost cutting, every company is not going for SaaS or other paid softwares. So there are companies majorly who work on free software. So if you have knowledge about coding, so then you can read those scripts and tell that how you can customize these codes according to your requirements. So it will not happen that every time you have to write a bespoke code, but sometimes when you are stuck with some problem, then it definitely helps you in getting that problem resolved.
One question from your own experience from your career. The question is, what are the challenges you came across in your career, and how did you overcome it?
Uh, I would say that this was not a very smooth sailing for me, because sometimes you feel disoriented that however how much I study, it gets redundant after a point of time. So I have to keep upskill again, and there is some other technique, then I have to master that. And then, so if you can keep yourself engaged and motivated throughout your life, then there is this field definitely to be in. And talking about the challenges, there were many. Like I have never handled such huge amount of data earlier. When I landed in iBank, the day one I got some um, 2 GB data, and my boss told me that you have to run a campaign tomorrow, and that's it. That is the only instruction I had, and I was clueless what to do with this data, how to analyze, and how to launch a campaign. So then your networking skills really come handy, and how you talk and how you build a rapport with your colleagues. Then they help me, like you have to go to data warehouse, get your data request lined up, get the data, and then start massaging it, put up the filters. Then you have to go to campaigns. They will be asking you to prioritize your things. So there were like a lot of things that happened, and the only thing which kept me alive is that I took it as a challenge, and every time I was faced with a challenge, I tried to go past over it by killing it, because otherwise I thought that this is not something which is not doable, because every other people are doing it, so it's doable and I can also manage it. It's just that you have to keep reading, and upskilling is very important, I would say.
So do you mean to say upskilling in terms of certification courses? Because that is also one of the questions.
Yes, certification do help, but if you read from online resources also, that's really helpful, because at the end of the day, what matters is whether you are able to apply those concepts in a real business situation or not. No matter, like if you are reading a lot of material, but if you're not able to apply it, then it won't help you.
Okay, right. So another question coming in from, can you suggest me any courses offering in analytics? And also, is anyone hiring for business analytics in current situation? That almost we have answered, I guess.
There are a lot of openings in business analytics as of now, but I don't know whether they are hiring freshers, because I have seen movement from lateral hirings across. So, but since I have not kept a tab on the fresher hiring, so I cannot say. And currently also there is like the situation is something where I am seeing that a lot of freeze is across organizations on the hiring side. Even in my organization, there is undeclared freeze. So that all happens that the situation is sometimes not very good to enter into the industry. But for data analytics, I don't see that is as a challenge. I think in 2 or 3 months, situation will improve and there will be a lot of openings. But definitely it helps if you are empaneled in some institute, and if they offer you placement guidance, it really helps a lot. or you have hackathons? Because I see I keep getting a lot of invites for hackathons where they are offering, especially Amex hires 2 or 3 people from hackathons, and there are other companies also which are coming into picture for hiring from these hackathons. So that increases your chances of employability basically.
Okay. Then few questions are mostly based on the tools, which is the most important tool for analytics in the current situation.
See, for tools, if you want to start with, I would suggest that R or Python are like neck to neck, because Python has also shown a lot of improvement, and R is also the industry's choice, because most of the economics package are already available. So that depends on what kind of a project you are working on, and Python is generally considered good, like if you are really good in coding, whereas in R we have a strong support community who help you in terms of like how to write codes, and every material is available. So I would say that there are tools are many, like Alteryx. Alteryx is for people who don't know coding at all. It's just like drag and drop. There are boxes and you just have to drag and drop. Similarly goes with SPSS. SPSS is generally used in educational institutions, and sometimes also it's used in organizations when and it especially comes handy when you are doing survey analytics, because there are like a lot of variables, and then it helps really fast in churning out the numbers. And then you have SAS, but since SAS has also opened up their online portal where you can go and try out the coding part on their portal itself. So you need to register yourself as a student, and then they give you access. But that also doesn't give that software doesn't give you full access. So there are other features which are available on SAS, and you can do a lot. But it's still as a starter and as to get a feel of like how these softwares work, then you can definitely go for it. And SAS has like the best of the documentation available, because what I feel is that though I was not a technical person, I was able to code in SAS by reading these documents only, and they have a strong community. So that provides a lot of information, and you can say you like whatever the problem is, you type it out on Google and you will definitely get an answer, especially using SAS as a software.
Okay, so I guess we have answered almost all the questions. One question which I would like to ask from my experience as a faculty, most of the students approach us saying that, sir, we don't have a statistics background, and if you land up in analytics, we will be in trouble. So, and most of the students are actually backing up. They said, I wanted to get into analytics, but I fear, since I don't have the statistic knowledge, what do I do?
I would say Khan Academy is the best online tutorials which I have come across. Even in BCG, they used Khan Academy to uh, like upskill people. And if you are at least familiar with a statistical concepts till 10th, and if you know a little bit of regression, then I think the only thing which is like you should not be panicked. If you get panicked by seeing at the numbers, and then it becomes a problem. So you should know your aptitude first, whether you really want to go into that or not. Because if numbers bore you, and if you think that I don't have a background, I don't think so, because I have seen people coming in analytics from different backgrounds, and they are doing really well, especially in BCG, because they didn't had that barrier of this thing that uh, that like you should be only from analytics. Because I what I heard when I was there was like 10% was like they hired from different diaspora to get the business understanding also, and so that also helps. So but my only suggestion is that you should be good with numbers, and you should be able to interpret the equations, because when you do linear regression, logistic regression, so there are equations, and there are like log of odds. So you should be knowing log, a little bit of arithmetic. I'm not saying that differential calculus or something of that nature would be there, but at least you should be familiar with your arithmetic fundamentals till 10th and your statistics till 12th. So that would be a good point.
Okay. So I think we have answered all the questions in the Q&A. If participants have any additional question, you can put it in the chat box or Q&A so that we can quickly take it up. We are left with 10 more minutes.
People have asked for analytics books. I am seeing that a lot of people are asking about analytics books. So I would say that there are not one book which you can refer to, because there are multiple topics covered in multiple books which are of help. So it depends on which book you find yourself comfortable with and the language they are. Because uh, initially, for econometrics, I would prefer Damodar in Gujarati is the book
Yes.
which I swear by, and I keep it handy with myself, and it's on my desktop also every time. So, and there are others also, but Baltagi, that is like very technical in nature, and I would leave it for people who are masters in economics, so they would do well. But once you are into analytics and once you start doing it, you get a hang of it and you start upgrading yourself. So then it comes to you as a understanding that, okay, if this is the situation, then I have to apply this kind of a technique. And then you read it, and then you go to different blogs of people who have solved this kind of a problem earlier, and that's the way you enrich yourself. And then you talk to your peers or your seniors that how they approached. Because for example, if I am faced with such kind of a situations where I have to write something, or uh, as a business development I have to talk about something which is not in my domain earlier, so I have to research a lot. Then I speak to people in the industry, that whoever has done that earlier, and try to get hold of that information, and then I tie the story and present it. Because every time it will not happen that you know something beforehand and you are just applying it. So most of the time you are handling new problems, and every time the approach will be different. Because if there is a approach already available in the market for that particular problem, then you would not be approached for that. So it is always like, if you can bring a new perspective to the problem, or you can solve it in a way which is way beyond what is available in the market, that creates a niche for you and for your solutions.
One question which we missed. Riyanka is asking. I'm a BTech in electronics and MBA in IT. Have 7 years of
Mhm.
experience, but on a break from last 6 years. How can I approach
Okay.
business analytics now as a career? How should I learn business analytics with projects?
So the best I would suggest is freelancing to start with, because there are other freelancing sites available where projects are available. Because I got to know about this in when I was interviewing few candidates, and they wrote freelancing for one or two projects which they did, and they mentioned it on their CV. So then I got to know that this is also one option available to start working on analytics. And for upgrading, like, because if there's a huge gap, if you can justify that for what it was, then I think but for business analytics you will have to start afresh as a fresher. And there are learning paths available on analytics vidya. I will write here. So this is the site where you can find, there are multiple paths available which talks about that how you can build on your repertoire as an analyst, or if whether you want to go using R as a software or SAS as a software, or visualization expert. So there are multiple tracks available which give you step by step that what, and they had done a brilliant job in terms of like putting up all the resources with their detailed descriptions and links, so that you don't have to do too much on the fact finding part, and you are ready to go. Because I found it quite interesting when I did it, like 2 or 3 years back, when I was struggling with R, because I have always used SAS as a software. And when I started using R, I was like little skeptical where to go, and then I found this information there, and it was really amazing in terms of the way they have arranged it. And also, if say like for projects, so there are a couple of projects which get posted, I think, a weekly basis on Kaggle. So they are the real projects with data. So there you can hone your analytics skills by taking participation. Also in Analytics Vidya, there are hackathons which are live. So some projects are there which are like for your practice purposes. There are 4 or 5 problems on there. So which tells you how to do clustering, how to do regression, logistic regression, and pricing, etc. So there are data sets available, and they give you a problem statement, they give you variables list, they give you variable explanation, and then they give you codes also, that how they tackled that problem and arrived at the solution. So that way you will be able to find exactly how to build your solutions and how to interpret the results and present it to the audience. So that ways I think you can start your preparation. And once you are comfortable, I think comfort will not be there, so you should start looking, taking parts in hackathons, and then you can speed up. Because when you take part in hackathon and you try to solve a live problem, then it gives you enough confidence. And when you go for interview, people ask, and people want to judge you on the basis of how comfortable you are taking on new problems. Because I have seen people who are very comfortable in whatever they have acquired, but they don't want to venture into anything new. So for that kind of a thing, you should be very open. And this, by participating in these hackathons, it gives you an added edge and confidence which is required to get through those interviews.
One last question. I think someone is asking about business analyst and operational analyst are the same.
No, operational analytics will be, because there are multiple areas of analytics. So operational will be mostly your like scheduling, optimization related to operations, whereas business analytics will be like you will be assessing the business, you will be doing the due diligence, and there are multiple tools available to do the business analysis, and you will be utilizing data. So business analytics come as a very broad term, but when you talk about operation, so it renders to what is getting in operations field, like scheduling. Then your PERT CPM techniques also gets into handy when you read your operations research or operations management paper. So that comes handy.
Okay, I think we have done with it, ma'am. We can have your concluding thoughts and we can conclude.
I would say all the best to you guys, and those who are willing to take up this analytics as a career, because this industry has a lot to offer, and there is like uh, lesser people available to fill the gap. So do your bit, keep yourself abreast with the latest changes happening in the field, and a little bit of participation in hackathons will help you a lot in acing the nail.
Yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to add to that, along with the hackathon, you can also think about taking up certification courses.
Sure. Certification definitely helps,
Yes.
because
Yes.
if you put certification on your CV, so it at least it gets selected.
Yes. So just wanted to inform all the participants that Belinker Institute, vSchool, in collaboration with IBM, we are starting a 10-month joint program on leveraging analytics in business. So the interested candidates can actually reach out to our educational consultants. The advantage of this program is you can earn a dual certificate, both from vSchool as well as you get the IBM badges. That's one of the USPs of this particular program. Also, you have the expertise of IBM, the trainers who come and take sessions on specialized modules, and also the experienced faculties from the V-School fraternity. And there are a lot of live projects, as well as the best participants of the program will also get a chance to do intern with IBM. So this is another advantage and USP of this program. I would request somebody is on unmute. I would request you to, yeah, thanks. So and many more. So these programs will be really helpful for somebody who wants to upskill yourself into the analytics industry, and also people have taken a break and now thinking of shifting towards analytics. Definitely this program, these kind of programs will be handy. So those of you are interested can reach out to our education consultants for further details. With that, I thank all participants and the speaker once again. Before I wind up, I would now like to request Dr. Anil Rao Paila, Senior Dean and Director of V-School Bangalore campus, to address the virtual participants. Dr. Anil Rao, you're on mute. Professor, we are unable to hear you. Okay, I think there is some technical glitch with Professor Dr. Anil Rao. To add on to it, Dr. Anil Rao Paila is Senior Dean and Director of V-School Bangalore campus. Is a pillar of our campus, who along with Mr. Vikram, who is the head of MDC department, who is arranging and coordinating and all these activities for the well-being of all the experienced professionals outside, as well as our students who are doing the PGDM programs in the School Bangalore campus. Thank you, Dr. Anil Rao, being with us for this webinar. So it's time for me to say vote of thanks, propose vote of thanks. A big thanks to our speaker, with no hesitation. I would say that was one of the this was one of the most insightful session. I've attended many webinar sessions, but this was one of the most insightful session on analytics, because it came directly from your heart, without any PPTs. So your experience, you shared your experience, the challenges you have faced, and what the professionals should do to take up and excel in analytics industry. We wholeheartedly, from the whole V-School family, we thank you once again.
Thank you so much. And I would appreciate that if I'm called for more such sessions, because I would love to see the enthusiasm which our participants are having, because I was not expecting so many questions. And
yes.
So, and I would say that keep the spirits live, because there is like hope. And I would say that this is the industry which is growing in phases like multiple, and I would not say geometric is the wrong word, it's the exponential term, because everybody is chasing data, and now but people don't know what to do with this. So I think that if you guys really come up, definitely it's a field to be in. Yeah. And it's a challenging field. It's a challenging field, I would say.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you once again, and I also would like to extend my thanks to Dr. Anil Rao Paila, Senior Dean and Director of V-School Bangalore, and the entire team of MDC headed by Mr. Vikram. and last but not the least, all the participants who have participated very actively. As Savantika said, a lot of questions. We never expected these many questions, and also the variety of questions. It was amazing to have you as audience. Thank you once again. Looking forward to many more such events, many more such webinars in the field of analytics. Stay safe and keep learning. Thank you so much. Just one last request to all the participants: you can submit the survey questions before you leave the session. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you once again. Have a great day.
You too.